people have been asking this in different ways, but I imagine for an upperclassman who obviously wants to build on a good season last year, just what were the challenges in terms of maybe kind of making strength gains, speed gains, those sorts of things this offseason when it does get chopped up the way it does, where you have to work remotely for a long time. Then even when you're back, you're working in these small groups and things like that. Just what are the challenges, maybe for a veteran who's trying to kind of fine tune some of those details when you don't get the benefit of a normal offseason, so to speak?
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely difficult. I'd say it really came down to Coach Wellman and his staff really having a detailed plan for us. But like you said, it's really challenging still, even with those, like a guy like Coach Wellman who knows, what the NFL is doing, how that's going to work out, how we should work out. But I think he did a great job of making sure we feel good and we're healthy, but still getting the work in and making sure we're gaining on what we've done in the past. So overall it's been challenging and it's been chopped up, like you said, but I think we've done a pretty good job, and our coaches have done a really good job of maintaining the strength and the speed.
All right, John, then Kevin.
Coach Womack was talking about, or has been talking about, just the leadership that the linebacker group has been showing. Why do you think that's grown so much, I guess, from last season to this season? It's just comfortability in terms of being older and more mature, or was there a conscious effort there that you felt like somebody needed to lead?
Yeah, definitely just last year, I'd say the majority of us in that room was just we were definitely younger, but we're also still learning how it is to be, take a bigger role in the defense and leading on the field and making plays. So I guess settling to that took a little bit of time last year for a lot of us, but this year, now that we're all honed into exactly what's going on in the defense, it's much easier to get everybody lined up to communicate loudly out there and be confident in what we're doing. So I think, overall, as a full group, we're getting more guys collectively into that role and being able to communicate loud and be a leader on the field. So I'd say it doesn't really matter at this point. We have like 5 dudes that can really play out there and can all play together. So it looks good in that room, and we're really getting prepared.
Kevin, then Peaks.
Yeah, Micah, you've had Coach Womack both as your position coach and as a defensive coordinator last year. How would you describe just kind of his coaching style, what he tries to bring out of you in a day in and day out basis, and what do you think he learned from his first year as a defensive coordinator?
Yeah, I'd say he's just a real detailed worker. So everything that he teaches us, he wants us to know it like he would know it. And he wants us to call it with the verbiage and the communication that he would want himself, like it's himself communicating it to his players on the field. So he's really detailed, but he's strict, and vocal when he needs to be that way. And he can get on your tail and explain that you're wrong in this situation, but he's also good at building guys up and being able to, get right back and flush players like of a previous play and just focus on what we got coming up next. So I think he's done a really good job at that.
All right, Peaks and Stefan.
Yeah, of the young guys that may be part of that 5 that you mentioned, who has really impressed you, or looks like they're ready to play that maybe hasn't played in the past?
I'd definitely say Aaron Casey. He's come along real well, especially during this, since we started that first fall camp when we thought the season was happening. Now we're back into this kind of second phase of fall camp. He's definitely come out and shown out for us, and he's shown that he can be on the field effectively.
All right, Stefan, and then Zach.
Micah, with some of maybe the younger guys that you've seen, when they come in and when they play, it's going to be against Big Ten opponents right away. What do you kind of, as an older guy, try to tell them in terms of, that level of competition, what they could expect from game one?
Yeah, for us as older guys, I really say it's more just trying to explain, this is how it's going to look in a real game type situation. They may not come out in this, but you got to have your eyes here. So there's a few different keys that a few of us, just try to implement into the younger guys and not try to get them all flustered about, overthinking anything. Just try to keep it simple, where your eyes at, where your feet. So I think that's really important, just kind of slowing their mind down a little, slowing their feet down as well.
All right, Zach.
Mike, Ty Wise is a freshman that the coaches have brought up as kind of being able to flatten that learning curve a little bit more than the average. Obviously, you kind of have experience with that, having played young. I know he came in really early. Just kind of what have you seen from Ty and the way that he's maybe embraced kind of the job at the linebacker spot, and just how he's maybe improved over the last whatever it is 9-10 months now.
Yeah, he's shown a lot. I mean, he picked up the defense really quick, even throughout all this COVID and not having a spring ball. I mean, usually for an early enrollee like him, that first spring ball is that spring practices and everything. Those are so crucial. But I mean, we only got 4 of them, and he still managed to learn and pick up the defense as a Mike backer and being able to communicate. I mean, he picked it up real quick. So he's another guy that I would throw in there with Ace that has picked it up real well, getting everybody lined up, really communicating loud and whatnot. And obviously he's not there completely, but I would say he's came a long way, and he's looking really good as well, like Coach Kane said.
Anything else from Micah?
Yeah, one more.
Go ahead, John.
Obviously, we heard the news about the injury to Marcelino. I mean, how difficult was that for you guys to obviously lose a player of his caliber and his obviously his leadership and being a veteran player? And how confident are you in Bryant and some of the other guys who go fill that spot?
So I'm completely confident in those guys. I know that we're going to have the backups and the people to fill that role. Obviously, maybe not as effectively as Marcelino could do it and the experience that he had, but we have guys back there that are talented and athletic and can make plays for us. So it was, it's depressing. It hurts, but we can't really dwell on that right now. We got to, as Coach Kane kind of mentioned, we feel for Marcelino and we're with him completely, and he's going to be with us leading and whatnot. But as a team, we kind of got to just, take the hit and move on. We got games to get ready for. We got a season to get ready for. So, and, we got to expect that might happen to even more people with the way that, NFL looks and just how this whole season's going to run. But we're going to take the punches and roll with them. So it hurts, but we got to deal with it.